and I'm about to throw it out the window. Hey guys, so my 3-year-old and I are going to go run some errands. I have some fabric that I'd like to pick up and just a few things so I can work on a project I'm currently doing just to finish up our Christmas decor. So come shopping with us at Hobby Lobby. Okay, so we're back from Hobby Lobby, and while I was there, I was going back and forth on what I really wanted to do for this pillowcase, and I wanted it to be simple but still kind of blend in with what we've kind of got going for the season. Like, I want reds and burgundies and just very traditional. I love a quilt. I don't love a super crazy busy quilt, but I love a good neutral quilt, which I've made a few. One day we'll talk about all those, but I went ahead and I only bought 2 fabrics. And I just purchased a pattern on Etsy because I was like, I could probably sit down and figure out the measurements, but I'd rather just pay someone $3 because they've already figured it out. So I got, and fabric is 40% off as of today. I got this burgundy color, which matches. I don't think these candles will come out. Okay, they will. Oh my gosh, perfect. So it blends, it's gonna go good. So I got this cotton fabric and just like their like quilt section, it's not like duck canvas or apparel fabric or anything. And then I just got this one and it's called Bone. That's the color. And this one, this one didn't have a color name, but we're gonna make like a quilt block into a pillowcase. So I might need, I actually have a good bit of scrap fabric I can like put on the back. I'll need to get some like batting or interfacing or something to like actually make it look quilted, because I will quilt the top, but I think it's gonna look pretty and just be like a unique concept. So I'm going to look at those patterns and figure out the cut measurements I need. And it looked like a very simple, straightforward pattern. She does have a YouTube video, which I will have all these things linked down below. It is the Evergreen Quilt Block by Jessica Dayon, D-A-Y-O-N. But yeah, so she's got like all of the measurements for like different block sizes. And so my pillow is, the current pillowcase is about 19.5 inches. So I'll probably just plan to do like an extra inch border along the edge, because the biggest one that she has for the square block is 18.5 inches. But yeah, I will have all of her info down below in the description box, so you can purchase that and make it yourself. So thank you, Jessica, for sharing an awesome pattern with us, and hopefully this works out. I don't know, we'll see. If not, oh well. Okay, so actually I lied. I'm not gonna be starting on that right now. I was thinking, I live in a house with 3 kids and a dog, so I want this thing to be able to be washed, and red and white together don't really go well. So I was like, let me run this red through a quick wash. So hopefully it gets all of the extra color out and bleeds into the washer with nothing else in it. So that's going in the wash now, and I might as well just wash the other one too. So we'll start cutting at a later time, but I also picked up an invisible zipper, and this will be my second time doing a pillowcase with this. It took a lot of brain power to do that, but it's not impossible. So I will be using this to zip the pillow up once it's done. And then I just grabbed 2 more little things of thread just because I didn't want to run out. I don't want to run out mid-project and be like, oh, I've got to go back to the store. So I've got that. And so what I'm going to use to cut the pieces, I'll talk about that now, I've just got this Fiskars gray mat. It's like a I got this Fiskars self-healing mat that I use all the time. And then my little scissor, like my little sharp edge, you just kind of run it. Got that, and then I've just got this big old ruler thing to help me cut the pieces, and I'll just use the mat as a guide, and then this will be my straight edge. So I do wish I had a smaller one and one that had like wasn't all bent. Maybe I can work on this to lay back down, but I feel hopeful about this project. I think I'll be able to do it. So okay, so I've got the bottom 4 pieces done. So basically it's just cutting out a lot of rectangles and then a square, and that'll be like the bottom. She has like it in brown, but I'm just gonna do the 2 colors. So I'll show you in just a second, but I'm going super slow because I've learned that if I try and rush it, I will mess up. So I'll show you what it looks like so far, and then I've got to finish cutting like 2 or 3 more pieces, so let's do that. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. There might be 2 or 3 more rows. I don't quite remember, but I think it's gonna look really nice, so I'm excited. I have got all of my fabric pieces cut out for the first side. That was a lot. So we're gonna start sewing everything together, and basically you're making like kind of like a half square triangle in a sense, to create, you know, the triangle points of the tree. So right now it looks kind of crazy, but it's a process, y'all. It's a process. Okay, so the bottom row is like the only one that gets sewn normally, but everything else is gonna make like a triangle to have a tip for the Christmas tree. So I think it looks good. And I don't know if I'm gonna do the other side with a red background and a white tree. I'll see how this one looks, but we'll go from there. So the worst part's over, at least for this side. Unfortunately, I gotta do 2. Or you could just have a plain back. That's an option. Just do a plain fabric back. Oh no, we'll see. We'll see how hard this is. Okay, so all of the rows are complete, and now I just have to go in and flip this over, sew right sides together, and then just work my way down the piece. But oh my gosh, I actually can't believe it. I'm really surprised that I did that. So let's work on sewing that together. Jump scare, it's the next morning. This is the first side, and I didn't show sewing it all together because my sewing machine decided to just keep jamming. So I was just really frustrated with that, so I just kind of let it go, and I finished it yesterday evening. But I think it's super cute, right? Like, it's cute. I do need to go get some interfacing. After I finish this, I will run to the store. I'm gonna sew this together and just get going. Go back in order. Make sure you've already lined everything up and you've got it in the order it needs to go in. That way you don't mess up. So you just wanna make sure that you flip it, and I've showed this earlier, but right sides together. And then I used these little clips to pin everything, and just to kind of help me keep my lines. And I went ahead and pressed my seams this time. That way I could make sure that the seams are laying open onto the red fabric, just because I don't want to, see the red through the white tree. So making sure everything's all lined up. And then you're gonna sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So you can see the lines on the sewing machine for 3/4, 1/2 inch, 5/8. But I just follow, sorry, I'm really trying not to make you dizzy. This little line right here, I just line up my fabric on the line on the presser foot. And that seems to work pretty well for me. And I just try to go slow and steady, and hopefully my sewing machine doesn't jam up. I still need to go iron this one and press everything, but I think that's super cute. I love it. I'm really happy with how it came out. So I'm going to iron this and then run to Hobby Lobby and get some interfacing or batting or just something so I can quilt these pieces. All right, so I have my finished pressed little block, but so it's a little bit smaller than I need. Looking back, I could have added on to the side pieces to make it bigger, but I didn't. So we might lose a little bit of the crisp corner down here on the very last tree block piece. But kind of oh well. But what I'm going to do is I just cut 2-inch strips that I'm going to sew onto this, and extend it. So yeah, like I will lose that, but you know, I don't think it's the end of the world. I'll try to keep it like super small, the seam allowance, but I'm just gonna go around on each of these. So on this pillow, I'm gonna do red strips, and on the white one, I'll do white sides. So we'll do that, and then once that's done, then we will quilt it all together. So excited. Okay, so I got some quilting fleece that I'm going to use as kind of my batting for the quilted pillowcase. That way, like I didn't have to finish the other side if I used like unfinished batting. I don't know if that makes sense. I think this would be the best option for what we're doing. So I'm just going to lay it on here and pretty much cut it to size with my scissors, and then I'm going to use my straight edge to create my quilting lines. Okay, so actually what we're gonna do, we're gonna scrap that idea. We are just going to score it with our closed scissors. I've seen some people do this, and it basically just like puts the line so you can kind of see it. So I have all my diagonals going this way, and now we're just gonna do the same thing. I have finished the quilting on this side with the red background, and I think it came out super good. So I ended up doing 2-inch diagonals, which basically made 2-inch squares. And then I just cleaned up the edges so they're all straight. And I'll probably do like a 3/4 inch, no, probably just like a 1/2 inch seam allowance whenever I go to sew these together. But I've also got to do the invisible zipper. So I'm not gonna film that. I'm not good at it. I would definitely recommend, if you're going to do something like this, follow someone who does do it regularly, because I don't know that I'm gonna be able to explain it very well. But I've got plenty of room for kneading the seams, and I think it came out really well. Like, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't think it's awful. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, and I will check back in once they're done, and then I'll start doing this. So I probably honestly won't check back in until after the zipper is done, because like once you have your two sides, then you go in and you sew in your zipper, and then you like connect everything else. So I'll check back in whenever I am sewing these two pieces together, but I was super happy with it. So yeah. Okay, it's much later in the day, but I have an update. We have the zipper in and it works. So now that that's done, I'm going to flip right sides back together, and I'm going to sew everything together with about a 1/2 inch to a 5/8 inch. Probably just do a 1/2 inch seam allowance, just based on what the sizing looks like now. So I took my zipper foot off and I just put my regular presser foot on, and I'm just going to pin everything with pins, and then I also have these clips that I've shown you. I'm just gonna sew along and just make a pillow out of it, but I gotta make sure that the zipper is open so I can flip it back out once I'm done. So we are almost done, and I'm so glad. Everything sewn. Let's flip it out, and I will have to go back and cut the corners, but I just want to see if it worked. Oh no. It just zips up. One casualty. Alright, so that's all from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and feel inspired to make your own DIY quilted pillow. So I'm a little upset about what happened on this piece, but I think it's still fine. My mom was troubleshooting with me this morning. She's like, you can maybe like find like a Christmas pin or something to put there. I don't know. Honestly, I think I might just redo this side, and this can just be one of my kids' pillows they can just throw in their room for the season. But I'm super happy with how it came out, and if you want to create one too and show me on Instagram or TikTok, you can tag me at The Simple Cozy Haven, and I would love to see it and share with my followers and friends. So I hope you enjoyed today, and check back on Sunday for my next video. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.